New South Wales has recorded its biggest rise in COVID cases since the peak of the pandemic, with Sutherland, Mount Druitt and Harris Park among the list of infected suburbs. Today, as concerning clusters grew, so too did lines for testing, leaving clinics overwhelmed and people sent packing.
Autumn's coronavirus hibernation is over. COVID is awake, anxiety is high, and our testing clinics aren't coping.
People are going home now, not knowing if they've got the virus or not.
8 new cases from the Thai Rock restaurant at Wetherill Park, 3 linked to the Crossroads Hotel. 4 from Bateman's Bay Soldiers Club, 1 a return traveller from Victoria, 4 in hotel quarantine. 20 new cases in 24 hours.
The one positive to take out of those 20 cases is every single one of those is from a known source.
Bateman's Bay Soldiers Club is no longer an anomaly, but a full-blown cluster.
I was at the Soldiers Club for lunch on Thursday with my daughter. And then I got the text last night from my children to say, come and get tested.
With 8 cases now connected to the club confirmed, including a staff member, the car park clinic was full before 10 this morning.
For the last couple of hours, I've observed probably over 100 cars being turned away.
You think about those 4 nights last week, you got a couple of hundred people in the club every night.
Anyone who visited the South Coast Club last week now being forced into isolation.
We don't know the source of the Bateman's Bay cluster.
The community's trying to do the right thing, but unfortunately we don't have the resources here to back it up.
The Sutherland Shire saw the knock-on effect of just a couple of cases. 3-hour waits for drive-through tests, forcing this clinic to shut while they worked through the queue.
With this new wave, I think they're expecting, so everyone's jumping in.
Sutherland Courthouse shut and cleaned after a positive case visited last week, and 4 junior rugby league teams are isolating after a trainer with the Sutherland Loftus Pirates caught the virus. But there were false alarms too. Hazelhurst Arts Centre in Guyamere closed after hosting an infected visitor, while parents were told a staff member at a Cronulla childcare centre tested positive. But in both cases, the people ended up recording negative second tests.
If you've been told to stay home 14 days, you have to stay home 14 days.
Drama too at Mount Druitt Westfield. An infected person was shopping there on Saturday. One of 22 venues on the list where people must be on high alert for signs of COVID. New additions, a pizza place in Paddington and the Village Inn pub around the corner.
But if we slide backwards, that will mean that all of us will have to face situations which none of us should want to face.
The New South Wales government has no confidence in how their Victorian counterparts are responding. So the 255,000 border permits issued to Victorians will be ripped up. People will only be able to cross the Murray River for healthcare, work or school, and only if those things can't be done remotely.
I don't understand it. The people that are doing the wrong thing all appear to be in the metropolitan areas, so, and we're being disadvantaged by that behaviour.
There are now 2 people in intensive care with coronavirus in New South Wales. One of them is in their 30s. While we haven't seen the explosion of cases like in Melbourne so far, doctors agree in this state, it's at a tipping point.
If we get through the next few weeks and the next month, we will have confidence that we can keep moving forward in New South Wales.
Let's hope we do. Chris is with me at the desk. Chris, a public health alert has been issued over a Harris Park cluster.
Yeah, this is in relation to Our Lady of Lebanon Cathedral, Peter. 2 parishioners have tested positive today after going to Mass there last week. So, if you attended Our Lady of Lebanon on Wednesday, Thursday or Friday last week and a funeral last Friday, you must immediately self-isolate for a fortnight and get a test. Now, it does not matter if you come back negative, you still need to stay at home for that 14 days. There will be a pop-up clinic in the car park of the church at Harris Park tomorrow, Peter, from 9 o'clock.
Chris, thank you. And as health officials contend with COVID clusters across the state, there are concerns tonight over plans for another Black Lives Matter rally in the CBD. 9 News reporter Laura Tunstall is at Town Hall. Laura, the Police Commissioner, is warning people not to attend next Tuesday's rally.
Yeah, he sure is, Pete. Police are really concerned about this due to the sheer number of people who've expressed an interest in attending. Up to 4,000 people are expected to converge here at Town Hall. Now, the Police Commissioner says he will be trying to take the issue to the Supreme Court in a bid to ban this protest. But even if they lose, his officers will be cracking down on the day.
We can still take action against people for breaching health orders. And if 1,000 people turn up, maybe I can only write tickets to 500. But do you want to be the first person to get the $1,000 ticket? That's the question.
Now, it's not the first time police have tried to ban a Black Lives Matter protest. They lost their court battle against organisers back in June, just hours before that rally started, Pete.
Laura Tunstall at Town Hall, thank you. New questions tonight about the government's COVIDSafe app, which is meant to help trace contacts of people who have been infected. 9 News has uncovered spending on the app to be millions more than previously thought. And tonight can reveal one of the companies involved in working on it has links to the Liberal Party.
He's the CEO whose company was paid to work on the COVIDSafe app. Massa Hadari, partner of Minazaki, the Liberal candidate for Canberra at the last election, and a high flyer whose previous company hosted Minister Angus Taylor.
Well, there's clearly more questions than answers here so far.
Delve was also paid more than $3.8 million for the coronavirus information app. Around $6 million has been paid for the two apps, but the real cost could be a lot higher, with our screens bombarded.
It'll help us stop the spread sooner.
$64 million has been spent on COVID advertising, much of that on the app, but the government won't say how much.
What we thought was a $2 million dud now looks like it's a $70 million dud.
The Prime Minister told Australians it offered protection.
Download the app. Put your sunscreen on equivalent.
But it's yet to find a single contact not picked up by tracers. More than 4,600 cases have been diagnosed in Victoria since the app was launched. Accessed just 325 times, or 7%, for zero results.
The utility of the app will always be determined by the number of people who actually download it.
There have been 586 cases in New South Wales. The app accessed 12 times, zero contacts.
It hasn't been the major feature.
Delve says it has a long history of government contracts, and the government says this was all above board. But as the virus puts more Australians into hospitals, one of the issues with the app is the 15 minutes people have to be close to each other before it picks up a contact. The states may ask the federal government if that can be changed.
The program is run by them, the settings are run by them.
For now, the Prime Minister continues the big sell.
We have to stay in the habit when it comes to social distancing and when it comes into downloading the COVIDSafe app.
Jonathan Kersley, 9 News.